Good morning, this is Shelby Law with the Great Basin Prescribed Fire and Smoke Briefing for Friday, April 24th, 2026. Activity is shown here. We have the prescribed fires in pink scattered throughout the Great Basin and the wildfires in yellow and red. We have seen some larger fires in the last week. This fire here in central Utah was over 400 acres, and then we've had a few larger fires as well in the 20 to 50 acre range here in the northern portions. Otherwise, fires are on the smaller side. Precipitation for the past 7 days is shown here on the left. We are still seeing some of the remnants of that wetter storm that moved through Idaho. This doesn't include the precipitation from yesterday, but the previous round up there. Otherwise, drier across the south. For the past 30 days, again, still seeing that wet trend across southwest Idaho. Otherwise, dry for Nevada and Utah. Even though we have had some storms coming through, typically we do see pretty good storm activity in April, so this is relative to what a normal April would be. So still on the drier side across much of Utah and Nevada, unfortunately, even up into western Wyoming. 24-hour snowfall is shown here on the left. Again, we have seen some decent snow across the central Idaho mountains into western Wyoming, even across portions of central Nevada and the far northern Utah mountains. Drier or no snow across the south. And then our snow cover is shown here on the right, or our snow depth. We can see we're starting to lose some of that, or continuing to lose our snowpack, even over the central Idaho mountains and western Wyoming and northern Utah as well. But the recent storms have helped to keep a little bit up there. All right, our satellite imagery for this morning's got a couple things going on. We still have the low pressure system has exited off to the north and east, but will still allow for some showers to develop today in Idaho and Wyoming. And then we have this low developing off the California coast that will be bringing in a pretty decent winter or spring storm into the central Great Basin, Utah and Nevada, particularly for the weekend. So again, for today, some lingering showers across Idaho and Wyoming. Otherwise drier further south. Ventilation rates are pretty high today. As far as the winds, we do see some gustier winds over the Uinta Basin and southern Idaho associated with that low as it exits the area. Mixing heights are elevated today as well. For precip today, again, just looking for some lingering showers, mainly over western Wyoming and the east central Idaho mountains. Minimum relative humidities are higher across the north and lower across the south, even some values in the single digits across far southern Nevada. On Saturday, the low begins to move inland. This will draw moisture up into the central and southern Great Basin, especially in Nevada on Saturday. Ventilation rates still looking good. We'll see some winds pick up across the southern Great Basin, especially Utah, the Arizona Strip, and far southern Nevada ahead of that low. And mixing heights are going to be high again on Saturday. Again, looking for the main precipitation to be across central Nevada, but we'll see some light precipitation moving into Utah, especially later in the day and the overnight hours. Minimum relative humidity is shown here on the right. We'll see those RHs coming up across Utah and Nevada as that moisture moves in. On Sunday, the low continues to move a little bit further north and eastward, drawing the moisture, deeper moisture into Utah. Sunday should be a pretty wet day across Utah. Ventilation rates still looking good. On Sunday, we'll still see some of those gusty winds associated with that low coming out of the south, but the RHs are going to be high as there is a decent amount of moisture and precipitation coming with that flow on Sunday. And the mixing heights are looking pretty good across Utah, or across Nevada and Idaho, some lower values over Utah. Again, on Sunday, the precipitation expected here looking like a pretty widespread wet day across Utah and eastern Nevada and even up into western Wyoming. And the maximum temperatures are going to be on the cool side with highs really staying in the 50s. The 3-day precip shows pretty good precipitation coming to the central and southern parts of the Great Basin. We will see, again, those light showers lingering today across the north, and then precip moving into Nevada tomorrow, continuing across Nevada and into Utah on Sunday. Clearing index looks good for the next couple of days, maybe some decreased values across northern Utah on Sunday. As we head into the first of next week, that low pressure system is centered over the northern Great Basin for some showers up there, ventilation rates staying high. On Tuesday, kind of more the same. That low pressure is still going to impact the area, keeping temperatures on the cooler side and allowing some showers to continue across mainly the eastern parts of the area. Ventilation rate still looking pretty good. On Wednesday, that low is still hanging around to the northeast, keeping northerly flow in place for slightly cooler than normal temperatures. Not too much precipitation is expected on Wednesday with the ridge in place across off the coast. Ventilation rates looking good on Wednesday. On Thursday, that low deepens a bit and backs into the Great Basin here. Should see an increase in precipitation across Utah and possibly Nevada as well. Ventilation rates still looking pretty decent. Precipitation for days 4 and 5, this is Monday through Wednesday, shows some of that lingering precip across Utah and Nevada. And then Wednesday through Friday, shows a bit of a signal there for more precipitation coming in, possibly in that like Thursday time frame. We'll keep an eye on that. And then the 7-day totals showing a good amount of precip coming to the Central Great Basin, Utah and Nevada, a little bit less across the north. The snow totals for the next 7 days, again showing this will be low elevation rain with high elevation snow still. And the extended forecast for the first week of May calls for above normal temperatures across the Great Basin with continued above normal precipitation expected. So we'll continue to see these storms moving through, bringing precip to the Great Basin. That concludes today's briefing. Please check back on Monday for the latest updates.